go ahead and call our meeting back to order. Mr. Linden, will you read us out of closed, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I move that the Roanoke County School Board come out of closed session for the following: to discuss ongoing personnel matters under investigation pursuant to the personnel exemption at 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia. And I move to certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the school board.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenway.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden.
Yes, ma'am.
Clemens.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fachani.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes, ma'am. We have no action from closed. So I'd like to welcome everybody today, and if we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, item 5.01, recognition of 2024 VHSL 2A state champions, Glenver High School girls soccer team, Dr. Corey Franklin.
We kind of skipped over 4 and 4.0.
Oh, hold on just a second, Dr. Franklin. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited this green everywhere. So we do not have any announcements or changes to the agenda that I'm aware of.
No, sir.
All right.
Move that we approve the.
Approve the agenda as
No
submitted.
change.
I'll second that.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenway.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemens.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fachani.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes, ma'am. All right, come on up, Dr. Franklin.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm very excited to be standing here to represent Glenver High School. Nothing builds a community like our sports and our academics, and these two programs that you're about ready to meet have done an amazing job the last 3 years. I'm going to start with girls soccer with Coach Kylie Drew.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to thank everyone for having us here tonight. This is a special opportunity to close out our very fun, historic season for our girls. We finished the season 20-0-1, winning the district, region, and VHSL 2A state championship. They achieved many goals this season, but they are the first team in Glenver girls soccer program to go undefeated, as well as the first team in soccer program to win a region championship. They are truly a special group of girls that have worked hard this season to achieve their goals. They are also the definition, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve any goal that you have. To all the girls, we thank you for your hard work, grit, and determination day in and day out. You deserve all of this. And so now for the girls, first up is Campbell Harding. We do have some that can't be here tonight, so next up is Sawyer Wilson. All right. Next up is David Tate. Anna Vicelio. Megan Parmerlo. Lauren Claude. Annie George. Brooke Smith. Caitlin Underwood. Avery Steger. And Logan Meadows.
All right, moms and dads, you get first hit. So as we get them lined up here, check your certificates so we can see them. Like that. They're all yours. Joe, all right. You.
Yeah, oh, yes. So
Okay.
you go ahead, Dr. Franklin. So we're just recognizing 2024 VHSL 2A state champions, Glenver High School boys soccer team. Congratulations.
Thank you. That is correct. It was quite a Saturday, I'm telling you. I'm going to introduce Coach Josh Jones.
Wow.
Wow, this is a big group. A bunch of them, isn't it? No kidding.
Goodness.
All right, first, I'd like to thank the school board for hosting us this evening. It's truly an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. I'd also like to thank our tremendous administration at Glenver High School as they are constantly in support and provide opportunities for our academic and athletic programs to be successful. Our administration is second to none, not only in our area, but in the entire state. They constantly support our students in many ways on and off the playing fields. Dr. Corey Franklin, Mr. Tyler Brown, Ms. Tammy Odom, and AD of the Year, Jason Murray, are truly amazing at what they do. I also want to thank our coaching staff, Andy Clapper, Logan Boyd, Bob Van Gerven, and Rich Drew, for all they do to pour into these students in our program. And of course, a huge congratulations to our student athletes for achieving back-to-back state titles this year. To become the first boys high school soccer team from the Roanoke Valley to do this is so special. Many of these players have been a part of our success over the last 4 years, where they have compiled an overall record of 75 wins, 3 losses, and 2 ties, and outscored our opponents 396-50. They have won 4 consecutive Three Rivers District titles and 4 consecutive Region C championships. This year, under the leadership of our captains, Zach Kerfus, Jake Williams, and Kean Fisher, we were able to put together an unbelievable season. This group of guys compiled a perfect 22-0-0 overall record while outscoring our opponents 93-4. We outscored our opponents in the postseason 20-0. Our defense ended our season with 18 shutouts in 22 games, including 10 consecutive shutouts to end the season. Our starting defense didn't allow 1 goal all season when they were in the game together. Our goalkeeper, Grayson Shepard, over here in the green, went 2 months without allowing a goal, as he didn't concede a goal after April the 8th. Senior Bryce King, where's Bryce at? Bryce right over here, led our team in scoring with 20 goals and 16 assists, including the lone goal in the state final. Bryce will go on to play at Patrick Henry Community College this fall. Our approach this season was to keep it simple. 1 practice, 1 game, 1 day at a time. The challenge and expectation was to simply give your best each day and see how far it would take us. This is a great life lesson as well. Wake up each day and do your best at whatever you do. If you're going to do something, then always give your best. I am so thankful that our best was good enough to win the state title this season. And while that is awesome, it's not what it's all about. It has always been about simply giving your best at what you do. It's been rewarding to see the culture in our soccer program evolve over the past 4 years. These players were able to achieve great things this year because they bought into the foundation of our program: competing, passion for the game, unselfishness, and toughness. These attributes will lead these individuals as they take their next steps in life. It has also helped establish standards for future student athletes in our soccer program at Glenver High School. Gentlemen, I am so proud of the way you conduct yourselves on and off the field. Your pursuit of giving your best each day has paid off. Giving your best gives you the greatest opportunity to be successful in whatever you do. Because you did that, you have earned the right to call yourselves back-to-back state champions. Congratulations. We're going to start off with who I think is one of the best goalkeepers, not just in AA soccer, but regardless of classification in the state, Grayson Shepard. Next is Jackson Jones. Next is Alan Vu. Next is Case Van Gerven. Next is Zach Kerfus. Next is Levi here? Right here. Okay. Oh, you got Gavin's, yeah. Tyler. Yeah. Good. The next one's Levi King. I don't think he's here either. Is Levi here? There you go. Yeah, yeah. All right, now we're back on track. Seth Nichols. Next is Heath Russell. Kian Fisher. Luke Farmer. Jax Bowling. Avery McClanahan. Cooper Mullins. Bryce King. Dylan Lutlow. Griffin Geddes. Adam Saunders. Alex Rodkamp. Jake Williams. I have to note, too, that Jake was also named State Player of the Year, so I have to put that in there. Aiden Hilton. Zach Adams. Evan Harris. Ryder Francisco. Wesley Feliciano. Connor Magruder. Tyler Shannon.
Good group. Let's get taller to the back, shorter if there is such a thing.
Brent.
Right. Again, moms and dads. Jim first. Jackson, let me get you to slap down this way. Slide in one. Jackson, come on. Take that down.
Ready, right side up?
Go for it. Make sure you're super fast so you can see him, at least, especially front row. There we go. Don't go in.
Some really impressive numbers. State champions back to back.
I'd
Great
also
job,
like to
ladies, too.
point out that Coach Jones and Coach Drew were also coaches of the year.
Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Franklin.
No, you need to stay. You need to stay. No.
All right. Item 6.01, hearing of citizens for agenda topics. We do not have none. We're on to item 7, the consent agenda.
Make a
motion?
motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenway.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clement. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Fachani.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes, ma'am. Item 8.01, adoption of resolution honoring retiring Assistant Superintendent Dr. Rhonda Stegall, Dr. Jessica McClung.
Mr. Chairman, I think we probably ought to wait over there. Well, give them just a minute.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. In honor of the extended service of Dr. Rhonda Stegall to Roanoke County Public Schools, the school board adopts a resolution of recognition. Dr. Stegall has served with distinction as Assistant Superintendent, Executive Director of Administration, Director of Secondary Instruction, the Principal at Hidden Valley High School, Assistant Principal at Northside High School, in addition to previous roles in other Virginia school divisions. She's contributed significantly to the instructional and safety programs of Roanoke County Public Schools, and we thank her for her service as she begins her retirement July 1st. I'm sure, Rhonda, you're devastated that this is your last board meeting, but it has been an honor and a privilege to be able to work with Rhonda over the years. So I'd like to read this to you all. Whereas Dr. Rhonda Stegall began her career in education in 1990 and joined Roanoke County Public Schools in 2003, after teaching in Carroll County and Roanoke City for 13 years. And whereas during her 21 years with Roanoke County Public Schools, Dr. Rhonda Stegall served as Assistant Principal at Northside High School, Principal of Hidden Valley High School, Director of Secondary Education, Executive Director of Administration, and Assistant Superintendent of Administration. And whereas under her leadership, Roanoke County Public Schools has made exceptional progress toward preparing students to become opportunity ready in a safe and secure learning environment. And whereas Dr. Rhonda Stegall will retire at the end of the 23-24 school year, now therefore be it resolved that the Roanoke County School Board hereby recognizes and thanks Dr. Rhonda Stegall for more than 2 decades of service to the students and staff of Roanoke County Public Schools. And through her dedication, our schools have become national models for safety and security. Signed this 20th day of June, 2024. Dr. Stegall. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. You know you're getting a
You are.
Prepare a speech, Dr. Stegall?
I'll say any.
I do have a few words, thank you.
Hopefully they're good, they're kind, right?
Yeah. Well, I just want to, I'm thankful for the privilege to work for Roanoke County Public Schools, which I do believe is by far the best school division anywhere around. I have worked for 3 different school divisions and have cherished my time in Roanoke County. I'm a Roanoke County graduated from William Byrd High School. I said this in my speech at Hidden Valley, that my 18-year-old self, if you would have told myself that I would have been the assistant superintendent of my own school division, not in a million years would I've ever have thought that. So what got me there was dedication, hard work, and a love for the work and working with children. And I also, this credible team that I work with, that's what I'm going to miss the most. The team here at Central Office is absolutely amazing to work for. The administrators, the principals, the teachers, all the, even the students and the parents, everyone in this school division it has been an honor to support and serve everyone. And that's what I'm going to miss the most are the people that I've worked with. And I will tell you that Dr. Nicely is an incredible superintendent. I counted up the other day, I've worked for 8 superintendents. He is by far one of the best superintendents I've ever worked with. So you guys are in great hands. And just want to wish you the best in the school division and keep carrying that torch of being the best school division around. And I wish you well in that task because you guys have hard jobs as well. So keep up that good work, and thank you for the resolution. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, Dr. Stingall, it's been a pleasure. Your dedication, your hard work, and your love for the children has shown in everything you've done since I've been on the board. I mean, I know these last 4 years have probably seemed like 10, starting with COVID and the numerous other factors that you've had to deal with in the last 4 years. I understand why you've probably made this decision. I envy you a little bit because I think you're younger than I am, and here you are getting to retire. But you've done a fantastic job in everything that I've seen you do. You go at it with a lot of gusto, and you take pride in your work, and you've done a fantastic job. So just want to say thank you and enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your dedication to our schools. You've been a tremendous asset, and you will be missed, so thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to echo Mr. Linden's comments because the one constant, even when we were coming through COVID or anything, and you weren't always saying what we wanted to hear, right? But you were saying what we needed to hear, and sometimes, as goes with the position, we don't like what we have to hear, and but I think through those times you've done it with class, dignity, and I love the fact that you do tell us what we need to hear, even though we don't want to hear it sometimes. And I don't know that all leaders do that. I'll say this too, and I know Tammy Newcomb, who's not here, has a great deal of respect for you as well. And stepping into that position, I think she'll is glad that you're going to be able to kind of give her some assistance and guidance as she moves forward. So I know we're losing a lot of experience, but I hope that you've instilled in others. And I don't know that there's a job at Central that you haven't touched or been a part of, because I really don't. I really don't. I mean, Dr. Stigall is, I think we've had to rely on you for many, many different positions and skill sets and so forth. And you've always been dress codes and policies, and you're going to go over some of that here in a little bit. And so I think we're indebted to you. The school division is obviously better because you've been here. And so we appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would echo the same comments. It's been a pleasure working with you. I got to work with you a little bit when I sat on the safety committee before coming onto the board, and I just love your straight up personality. You're going to tell it like it is. You're not going to hold back, and I like that. I respect that. I think that you've done a wonderful job for a very long time, and I'm a little jealous too because I've got 6 more years left before I can go. But I wish you well. I look forward to kind of seeing you around. I know you're going to work some days after retiring, and that's a really neat thing that the schools give you an opportunity to do. And I know that you're going to still contribute a lot wherever we see you. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I believe we
Hey,
need
Brent, can I echo? Can
Sure.
you guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Dr. Scott, I've known you for quite some time, and I just want to say this. When you spoke to your comments that you gave the Hidden Valley High School graduates, and I actually received one phone call from a parent who said that you have inspired their daughter to follow your lead and do what you've done, and knowing that, you've kind of broken the glass ceiling in their eyes, which I think was, quite impressive. So I have no doubt that you've inspired many young women out there to follow your lead and for them to know that they can do what you two have done. So I think that's quite inspirational. Ronnie, you've always done I think the person that I can call And within a couple hours, you always have gotten back to me quickly, promptly with the answers, and your responsiveness, your willingness to listen, to come back with advice has been remarkable. And I just want to say I'm going to miss you. I respect you. I admire you. And I wish you the best of luck in your coming months of retirement. And I hope that I still get to see you from time to time. So thanks for all your dedication and hard work.
Thank you.
So do I hear a motion to adopt the resolution?
Yes, so moved.
I'll second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenway,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden,
Yes, ma'am.
Clemmons.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fajani,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes, ma'am. All right, don't go anywhere, right?
No, I'm next.
Guess when you hear whereas, you know, we didn't think about it. You gotta adopt it, right?
I have a really good clerk that sends me messages to remind me of such things.
Whereas.
Thank you. Item 9.01, long-term facility use agreement, Dr. Rhonda Stegall.
All right, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we have 3 churches that we have long-term agreements with that would like to extend those agreements. We have Southern Grace Church is requesting long-term rental with Northside Middle School. That will begin July 1 through June 30th of 25. Elevation Church, which is requesting long-term rental agreement at Hidden Valley High School for the same time frame. And Journey Church is requesting long-term rental with Northside High School for the same time frame. All 3 churches have been in these schools for a while now, and we have great relationships with them, and it's been a very good partnership. So staff would recommend approval of those continued long-term rentals.
Dr. Stegall, do we need, I know this is information, but if they start July 1, do we need to make a motion tonight and do that, or?
We could. I
I
mean,
mean, because July 1,
could be,
you know, we
yeah.
won't have a meeting. So I'll make that motion that
Okay.
we accept these long-term facility use agreements.
Have they differed at all? Is it
I'll second.
just a renewal?
just a renewal,
Okay.
right? They're the same.
Cheryl seconded.
All right, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Greenway,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Linden,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Clemmons,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fajani,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes, ma'am. Item 9.02, recommended policy changes.
Okay, several times a year, staff conducts review of policies and administrative regulations and recommends changes for various reasons, including clarity of language, change in practice, change in state code, and recommendations from staff. Each recommendation comes with 3 separate forms. There's one that's an edited version, there's a final version, and then there's a summary page. I've also included for you at the very end, there's a summary of all the policies on one page. And what I've done there is highlighted the ones that have content change. So those were the ones I would recommend you read through those because there's some content difference. The ones that aren't highlighted, they're just grammatical changes, things that don't change the content of the actual policy. And so I just want to call a few of those policies to your attention that have rather significant changes. The first one is the adoption of the school-wide literacy plan that is part of the Code of Virginia, so that is definitely something we want to review. The other one is the requirement to release student email addresses to the military. That is part of state code. That is not something we have done in the past. It is something we are required to do moving forward. So we want to make sure that you're aware of that and parents are aware of that as well. The third one is we've changed the attendance policy. We've had to make some changes to that because of chronic absenteeism. Schools are now individually their accreditation is based on chronic absenteeism, so schools can get marked down and not become accredited if students have 10% more of attendance issues. That basically equates to 18 days a year or 2 to 3 days a month that could get someone to chronic absenteeism. So we've gone into the attendance policy and tightened that up just a little bit just to help protect our schools from not meeting accreditation when it comes to chronic absenteeism. So I would direct your attention to that one. And then there is a requirement to implement curriculum around the dangers of fentanyl and reducing hazing. So those are 2 things that Code of Virginia is requiring that we implement into our curriculum. So instruction will be working on implementing those in our health and PE curriculum as we move forward. And then there's policies there connected to the PTO, paid time off. For our employees, it's just, there's more policies that had to be updated to reflect that change. And then there's also updated policies. They reflect the information about industry recognition credentials that are accepted as substitutes for certain high school credits. So there's several policies that speak to that. So those are the major changes in policy, and as you review them, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I can direct you to the person who can answer those questions, or I can help answer them myself. Any other questions right now?
I think so.
Who
Thank you,
will we
Dr.
reach out to after July 1st?
Well, that's right. Each of these policies they're actually reviewed by the departments. So whichever department, you can refer them to the department. So of course, instruction would be Mike and Stephanie, or Mike and Kim, moving forward July 1. And then, of course, finance, HR, those types of departments, they can answer them.
Okay.
Thank you. Item 10.01, hearing of citizens. During this portion of the meeting, citizens are invited to address the board on topics listed on the agenda. Oh, I'm going to start that over again. I'm reading the wrong one. During the portion of the meeting, citizens are invited to address the board on matters of public concern and exercise of their First Amendment rights. In the interest of time, speakers must either be parents, employees, students, or citizens of Roanoke County. We ask speakers to be respectful and civil in their comments, observing due respect to the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. Speakers should be aware that they may be held legally responsible if they make statements that violate the legal rights of others. For example, if statements are made that are defamatory or threatening. Complaints about specific school personnel should be addressed outside of this meeting to the appropriate school administration, who will address those concerns as appropriate through existing complaint procedures. Comments likely to disrupt the board's work or prompt a breach of peace are prohibited, and the speaker will be called out of order by the board chair. Speakers must address the chair rather than individual board members. Speakers have 3 minutes to make their comments and will be signaled by the lights on the podium. When the light turns yellow, please wrap up your comments and finish before the light turns red. Please be aware that board members listen to comments but do not respond. Tristan Shepard.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the school board. As I stand before you today, I am filled with a mixture of emotions, pride, gratitude, relief, and even a tinge of sadness. I stand here not just as a high school graduate, but as someone who has faced challenges that threaten to derail my journey to graduation. I made the decision to graduate high school early, a decision that was an escape from the bullying and threats of violence, which, as we know, led to me attempting suicide almost exactly a year ago. Before making the decision to graduate a year early, I reached out for help, seeking support from the school board, when a parent posted lies about me to social media, only to be met with apathy and disregard in my darkest moments when I needed guidance and compassion the most. I was met with indifference. I vividly remember looking up to the sight of some of the school board members playing on their phones, ignoring both my mother's and my pleas for help. But despite the lack of support, I persevered. I refused to let their indifferences define me or dictate my future. I found the strength within myself and from the unwavering support of my loved ones. Today, as I stand here before you as a graduate, I want to remind everyone that our struggles do not define us. We are capable of overcoming obstacles, no matter how daunting they may seem. We have the power to rise above adversity and emerge stronger on the other side. Congratulations to the class of 2024. May we continue to defy expectations and reach for the stars. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tristan. Item 11.01, reports and inquiries of board members. Mr. Linden, would you like to start?
Certainly. Although I don't have a whole lot, just wanted to thank all the retirees. We've got a number of people retiring here at the end of the month. One in particular, Miss Perko, who taught at at Burlington Elementary School. I know made a big difference in my boys' lives, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Nancy Perko. She's probably not watching tonight, but I know that my boy's very fond of her and the attention that she paid not only my kids as they came through, but I know she made a difference in a lot of students' lives over there, and that's not to single her out because I know all of our teachers make a lot of difference in our students' lives. So to all those that are retiring this year, thank you. We did. I didn't mention that last month after our retirement banquet. I think we had 60 retirees, and they've earned that along with Dr. Stegall and the others. So thank you to all those retirees. We are 8 weeks away today from the start of school.
What in the world?
Way to ruin everybody's day, right?
Yeah, I wanted to end on a high note. I know everybody's excited to get back. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Clemens?
So since our last meeting, we all had the opportunity to attend graduation. And for me, shaking the hands of all the Cave Spring graduates was a highlight so far of my time on the school board. And I was just honored to be a part of their special day. It was great. And I know a lot of those kids because they're not much older than my own. So tonight, I'm going to spend some time talking about Cave Spring Middle School. I just wrapped up my 7th and final year with Cave Spring Middle. It's a wonderful school, and that's in large part due to our principal, Miss Fiona Hill, and she has a wonderful staff. It's been an absolute joy to work with her and all of the staff there, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time. She gave me a statement, and she said it perfectly, so I'll read some of her words. Cave Spring Middle School is a community that values tradition and prides itself on excellence. Many of the current students, parents, and grandparents attended Cave Spring Middle School and are actively involved in the life of the school. Parents and guardians, as well as community members, generously provide resources to meet student and staff needs. Cave Spring Middle School values the stakeholders' input. The school honors the traditions of Squire history while continuing to evolve to meet the current needs of the school community. I'm going to highlight some of those things that we've done in the schools, and we've got some pictures that are up there. The first is Red Ribbon Week. Red Ribbon Week is a big deal at the middle school age. We do it big at Cave Spring. We've won some awards over the years for the effort that we put in. Our decorations are big. When you come in, there's red everywhere on the outside and the inside. We've had speakers that come in to talk to our students. We give out stickers and bracelets and do all of the things. But what I'm most proud of is our pledge wall. So it's really big. We put up in the cafeteria. There's one of them. It's always based on whatever the theme is that year. So all the students sign their pledges to remain drug-free, and so then we put all of their pledges on that pledge wall, and it stays up in the cafeteria for a while so everybody can see those. And there's some more pictures of the inside of the school. We also do Kindness Week every year. Again, activities throughout the week. The Kindness Wall, again, is one of my favorites. There's the Kindness Wall there. So that's our kindness tree, and there's some statements from the students. So each one of those hearts represented a leaf, and the kids either wrote something nice that they did or something they caught someone else doing, random acts of kindness. So those are always fun. We also brought in dances 7 years ago, so we started doing 2 dances a year. They're extremely well attended, and that's in part due to our DJ, Antoine from K92. He's awesome. The kids love him, and so he brings in the kids. This is open to all 7th and 8th graders, and Mrs. Hill really likes the idea of preparing our students for what's coming next, so homecoming and prom and things like that. We also started the Squire's Closet a couple of years ago. The high school has the Knights Closet, which has been extremely successful, and so we thought we would bring that along on a little bit of a smaller scale, but we basically have a boutique-inspired shopping for kids, and so anybody's invited to come in. They can shop for dress attire, so that's been extremely successful. Another thing that is a tradition at Cave Spring Middle is the College Day Assembly. I think my kid is in that picture. So the students can dress up as, any college, but obviously there's going to be an emphasis on Virginia Tech and UVA. And so students and staff both dress up. They have a competition. There's some of the staff. And usually there's a winner for the Hokie side and the Wahoo side, whoever's dressed the craziest. Staff recognition has been a big deal for Cave Spring Middle School. We started the coffee cart. So there's Miss Hill and some of our volunteers. They go around to all of the classrooms, to every classroom, every staff member, and we have coffee and goodies for them each month. Next up, we've got the 8th grade award ceremony. This giving out awards at for eighth graders is always a tradition, but this year we did it a little bit differently. So Mrs. Hill wanted to do something in the evening, and parents were invited to come. Another tradition is that each year, and this was the 43rd year of the Squire and My Lady, which is the big deal. They are voted for and elected by Cave Spring Middle School staff, and it's based on character, leadership, service, and academics. So that's another great tradition at Cave Spring Middle. Lastly, we've got the eighth grade celebration. This is definitely a rite of passage for eighth graders that kind of brings an end to their middle school years and a send-off to high school. And we always have a glow room, which is fun. Again, our DJ Antoine is there, and he's showing a video of the epic water balloon battle. It's fun. We put about 4,000 water balloons on Bogle Field right before this, and it took them 5 seconds to destroy it. Part of the deal is they do have to clean up afterwards. It's cleaned up within a couple of minutes. That's part of the deal, but all the kids look forward to that. It's kind of the end of their journey. So Cave Spring Middle School has applied to be recognized as an Association of Middle Level Education School of Distinction. The AMLE School of Distinction is both a recognition and continuous improvement program open to any school that educates students ages 10 to 15. AMLE will announce this year's School of Distinction in August, and I may be a little biased, but I think that Cave Spring Middle School should definitely win this award. They're definitely deserving of the recognition. So best of luck to Mrs. Hill and her staff, and hopefully we'll be bringing them back in the fall to recognize them.
How do you get Chuck to do these?
He's very helpful.
Chuck, I didn't know you did this.
Yeah, he
You're
doesn't
making
offer-
us all look bad.
He doesn't offer anybody else.
We're all going to be putting in requests now.
Thank you, Chuck.
That's what I'm worried about.
They won't.
That's right.
They won't do it.
Mr. Greenway?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tristan, I want to say congrats on I want to say congrats on graduating. I'm glad you made it. I think it'll mean a lot to you in the future. So congratulations. And I want to say, Dr. Soltis, welcome to the neighborhood. We're glad to have you, and look forward to you stepping in and helping us out in the future. Also, I don't know if you heard, there was an election this week, and so I didn't know what was going to hit me at the end of the week, but boy, what a tsunami that came with that. Wow. The Board of Supervisors jumped in, and they came over to Vinton. I'm glad to see them in Vinton for whatever reason. They were there, and they came in, and they started hitting the houses, and the machine that is that group, they knocked it out of the park. I have to give them credit. They knocked it out of the park, and I think as a little gift, I'm willing to give a gift here. So, King Phil, I want to offer this to you as a winning toast. Tammy had wanted to get a new stadium at Hidden Valley High School. Yeah, sure did. Asked me about 30 to 45 days before she was recruited, and I want to say that to Cheryl and Shelley, if that's something y'all want, a football stadium at Hidden Valley High School, I'm willing to support that. The only caveat is that the funds can't come from education. They have to come from the Board of Supervisors. And I am willing to vote to approve that. And I think, we've increased revenue through the Board of Supervisors by $15 million this year. And as conservative Republicans, it was my understanding that we believe that the citizens know how to spend their money better than government. And we just grew government by $15 million this year. So I think this is a nice caveat to get that stadium done. And, if they'll share some of that money that they've just realized this year, I'll vote from the school board side to approve it. So that's all I have. Thank you. Hope y'all are having a great summer. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Greenway. Ms. Vashani, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, actually, on the rare occasion, Mr. Chairman, I have no comments or inquiries tonight. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, so congratulations to our graduates. Tristan, congratulations. like Shelley mentioned, it's like my favorite time of the year to be able to go out and shake all the hands on the stage at the Civic Center. And then at Glenver, they always do it at the stadium. And it's just a beautiful view there. And it just means something to shake every single hand. That touches my heart. And it reminds me of why we do what we do. And Rhonda, you've done a great job. Like we mentioned, you're going to be missed. And Dr. Soltis in the back there, you're a rock star, and I'm really excited for you to come on. I know that you're going to bring a lot of great things. You're going to do a good job, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for being here tonight. Also like to recognize Stephanie Hogan. She's not here tonight, I don't believe, but Stephanie is a great lady, and she has done a wonderful job with elementary education, and she's going to be missed as well. And I know that she's still going to be around doing some things part-time, so I look forward to seeing her as well. And like Mr. Linden spoke earlier, it kind of reminded me of something. One of my children, both my children, struggled to read up until about second grade when they got a teacher by the name of Joy Bird, and she's retiring this year. And both of my children completely did a 180 when they got into Joy's class. Her and Mrs. Clifford out there at Fort Lewis just really changed their life when it came to reading. So gonna miss you, Joy, and I look forward to seeing you as well when you're working part-time. Congratulations to both our soccer teams. I think it's amazing, and it really speaks for the programs there that the boys and girls win state. That's amazing, and back-to-back, and to only allow, I think you said 4 goals.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, how in the world did they accomplish that? That is just unbelievable defense there, but very proud of them. So that's all we have tonight. Meeting adjourned.